And definitely some giant news I didn't cover initially because I wanted to wait for some responses. I almost expected an apology, which we have not gotten. And I know that a lot of Dream fans out there, one of the top Minecraft YouTubers, and I maybe should say former speedrunners, will see what his future might be in that space. Obviously a widely talked about figure and has a lot of fans and audience members defending him on something that I just find to be, I'll be honest, pretty skeptical. If I am ended up being wrong on this, I will gladly eat my words, get on all fours. I'll apologize to Dream, something that he has not done officially ever since seemingly being exposed for cheating during a Minecraft speedrun by a lot of eyes out there. Statistically impossible what he managed to do.
I now kind of hope that he is wrong because I will get to make the hilarious Jake on all fours thumb. So
and you'll get to make
yeah, look for that in a month.
It comes out in a week. We're all wrong. If you guys missed it, it was actually during a Minecraft speedrun. Dream, widely known, recently broke 15 million subscribers, supposedly now being accused, and I would say by not only publicly, someone like Carl Jobs, please go check out his video. It's so well done, breaking down everything. If you guys are even a Dream fan and you spend 20 minutes watching a Dream video, please go spend 24 minutes watching Carl's video breaking down the opposing side, which does not look good for a guy like Dream as well. If you guys don't know, the actual accusation being he was playing on a modded version of Minecraft to manipulate the odds for ender pearls as well as blaze rods, which are actually playing a huge role in the speedrun itself. So much so, the odds of what he did are statistically seemingly impossible.
Yeah, it seems to be.
And noticed something strange about Dream's streams. Dream seemed to be experiencing very high luck and was getting pearl trades much more often than you would expect. After noticing this discrepancy, he went through every stream and collated the data for every trade that was visible. His findings showed that instead of trading pearls at a rate of 4.7%, piglins were trading pearls at a rate of 15%, 3 times higher. Minecravenger tweeted out his findings, which slowly but surely began to stir doubt among players and moderators alike. If the data was true, this was extremely concerning, as consistently getting trades at this higher rate is so improbable that there could only be one explanation: tampering with the game. The Minecraft speedrunning moderators immediately began their investigation. They needed to be absolutely sure that the raw data was correct. You can't form a reliable conclusion using incorrect numbers. They needed to track every trade over a 24-hour period, and they needed to do this multiple times to make sure there were no mistakes. The final tally was 42 ender pearl trades out of 262 total trades, which amounts to an average pearl trade rate of 16%, more than 3 times higher than normal. The probability of getting this many trades is 1 in 177 billion. This is already incredibly strange, but the rabbit hole was about to get much deeper. Given that doubt had begun surrounding the legitimacy of Dream's runs due to these improbable events, people started to investigate other random elements. Do you remember the 2 items we needed to collect to create Eyes of Ender? The first were Ender Pearls, and the second were Blaze Rods. When the data surrounding the drop rate for Blaze Rods was collected, it showed that Dream collected 211 rods out of 305 Blaze kills. This totals just shy of 70%. Given that the standard drop rate for Blaze Rods is 50%, the probability of having this many drops is 1 in 113 billion. It just so happened that the very 2 items you needed to collect in order to reach the end were dropped at almost impossible rates. When combined, the probability of this happening is 1 in 20 sextillion. This number is so large, or small, however you want to look at it, that it is totally and utterly incomprehensible.
The number that's getting thrown around is somewhere around 1 in 1.7 trillion.
And there were a lot of other numbers too when you combine both the Blaze Rods and Ender Pearls. Carl Jobs goes into detail about those odds. Either way, you pick them apart separately, you combine them, it makes them all the more near impossible. It seems that so many people out there are now focused on the one, right? Like Dream is the one, obviously. It is possible. That's what a lot of his fans are saying. But you got to realize just how slim those odds are. It really is seemingly impossible.
And now, if you're an innocent person and you've been accused of something,
here's where it gets strange.
What do? If I know it's my first impulse is to reach out to a unknown Harvard statistics major and have him throw together a sheet for me and just, good enough.
Yeah, and let me go into some detail as well. During a portion of this speed run, he was on track for the world record, ended up towards the end of it, falling a bit short on his own regard.
Yeah, 5th place, I think.
And so still very close. As of that, of course, that run completing, then the accusation surfaced. What he decides to do for a response is draws up an astrophysicist response who remains unnamed. That claim and that response has now also been picked apart, not only by Karl Jobst, public figures out there, but even more importantly, the speedrun mod team has now refuted that response and taken away his time, of which people still think it's unfair.
So we've all been caught in a lie, and then maybe we've gone a little too big to defend the lie.
What a swing.
But nothing, like, imagine your dream, and so you find like a Harvard statistician, or you say you found a Harvard statistician, and then you put your response out, and the next day, not only does the speedrunning mod team come out against it, but on Reddit, an actual verified particle physicist, and on he had to submit all of his credit, unlike the possibly imaginary one, the Dream had. This is an actual verified particle physicist has this post that rips this to shreds. He's like, this math doesn't make sense.
Yep.
This person either doesn't know anything about statistics or is willfully lying.
And even
That's
then,
tough, man.
I believe the bottom line of that response was actually to try and lower the odds of it being a possibility down to 1 in, I think that there was actually a few numbers brought up, 1 in 1 million, whether it's 1 in 10 million, whether it's 1 in 100 million. Still, the odds are so statistically low that anyone is able to do this. The main part, what I really wanted to get around to, was his lack thereof of officially apologizing and admitting to the guilt. Nobody cares about this. A week from now, already right now, we're only a few days behind this. No one cares. There's always bigger stories happening, but for me, what bothered me the most is you have someone who seemingly, I think so, did cheat. Being one of the biggest YouTubers in the Minecraft space, you cheat, you can't admit to cheating. That's what rubs me the wrong way, and certainly it can affect the speedrunning community, which have spoken up about this. We've covered a lot of apologies in our time. We've also covered a lot of non-responses. I think we can both admit sometimes the best thing to do is admit it, say sorry, and just move on. It rubs me the wrong way when he can't even do that.
Yeah, and I think that's because we have to come at things from a different angle, because whenever and luckily, knock on wood, it doesn't happen all that often, but when we're wrong on a story or when a source changes,
you admit it,
or information changes, we immediately have to admit it, because that's just that's what we have to do. But there's a big group of top tier kind of those million-plus sub YouTubers that kind of, and also with Twitch, that just sort of have realized exactly what Dream realized. If at first you don't succeed, just shut up. Just go away for 2 days and you're fine.
I mean,
walk away.
It really has become a thing, not only for this situation, but we've covered a lot of esports and gaming situations. You are completely correct. Many top figures out there in the esports and gaming scene or organizations have realized a non-response, just not giving any attention, is sometimes the best thing. Dream goes quiet, another big story happens elsewhere, and people just seem to forget. So, I personally do think that something was modded or manipulated, and that's my take. And I would just, I think a lot of people out there just want the admittance of that, of which we might not ever really get.
I just wish back, a year ago when I was doing all the research for all of our, mixer failing stories, and people were questioning the numbers. I wish I'd thought to invent a Harvard physicist to back me up.
And then we would have had to prove it, or, hey, we wouldn't have to do a thing about it.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll see what happens with this one, guys. One of the biggest Minecraft YouTubers caught potentially in a lie. What do you guys think about the situation? We'll catch you back here in the next one.
Very nice.